Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're listening. My name's Dr. Tracy Redwood and I'm an Associate Professor at the University of Northampton and the Centre Lead for Health Sciences and Services. Today we're going to discuss Manspace, a space for men to talk. Before we move on to the specifics, I'd like to provide some background for those of you who might be unfamiliar with universities or research. The Holistic Health podcast series is designed, similar to our Cafe Scientific, to bring university research into the public domain. It was created as a platform to present health-related topics to our students, staff, and the wider community in a way that is easy to access and applicable. The Centre for Health Sciences and Services is a research centre at the University of Northampton which focuses on health, science, and related science services, with the aim to be inclusive and supportive. And today, we're going to talk about Manspace. So thank you, and to Niall, who's coming to chat to us about Manspace. So, Danny, welcome.
Thank you.
So, what is Manspace? Give us a little bit of context. How long has it been running and how often does it happen? Where? How do we attend?
Okay, so Manspace was born out of an observation that I'm one of the counselling team here at the Northampton University. We noticed that we were getting more female students through to talk to us than male students. Mm-hmm. And we felt we need to do something to try and address the balance. Mm-hmm. So Manspace, the initial idea was born out of that. It's been running, this is our third academic year. I'm sorry, what was the other thing you asked?
Oh, how long has it been running?
Yes. This is our third academic year.
Where does it go? Where does it happen?
It
how
happens
do we get there?
Where you can take the lift or the stairs to the fourth floor.
Of the Learning Hub?
Of the Learning Hub, yes, thank you. I am a little nervous, I'm sorry about that. In the Hyde, where we have vintage game consoles, we have Lego, we have other board games, chess, backgammon, etc., just to encourage males, to come and talk. Mm-hmm. Because there is a huge amount of stigma attached to, certainly in my generation, I'm older than I'd like to admit. And if I ever went to my dad and said, look, I've got this problem, he'd say, for God's sake, man up, grow up here. Well, that's fine, but what does that mean? Mm. And this is for people to come and just be with other men and just see what subjects come up. We've had many different subjects just by people sitting around the Lego, putting bits of Lego together, and a subject will come up and people will then engage. People will come from the chess and come over and talk about their experience, about what's going on. And from that, I can encourage the guys that come to think about counselling. Mm. So there'll be no confidential stuff talked about in this setting because it's not confidential.
No.
Explain how counselling works, explain how they can register for counselling or mental health support. And there have been students that have come to Manspace first and then come to counselling to talk about other stuff. So it's working.
So I'm hearing it's a safe spot where people can go when they think, oh, I've got a problem, but I don't want to go to counselling. I just might go into this place and see what it's like, and they might tell me about what's going on, and I might get to meet people. It might be easy for me to get some support that I need because I don't know where to go.
Absolutely. And it goes some way to removing that stigma that men can't talk.
No.
We're human beings, of course we can talk. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with talking about how you're feeling. Mm-hmm. When you're with your mates, guys with their mates, the usual start of conversations, you all right? Yeah, I'm fine.
Yes.
Rather than, how you doing?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm fine. And you can hear in the voice, they're not fine.
No.
And it's having that courage to say, you sure you're fine? You don't sound fine.
So you're breaking down those traditional things that men
I hope so. Also, there's free tea and coffee and very nice biscuits at Manspace.
Ooh, Lego, tea, coffee, biscuits.
Yeah. Radio-controlled cars,
really
chess,
good.
backgammon, etc., dominoes. Try to cater for people to be more encouraging for them to come, to entice them in so that they then start to come on a regular basis, hopefully. and the word will spread about Manspace, about counselling, about how it's okay to talk.
Yes.
I think that sometimes guys just think that counsellors are all women. And there is a higher proportion, I think, of female counsellors than there are male. I mean, you look at our team, we have one male. We've just got another male on board who's doing some work with us, and we have four or five other, and they're all female, which is great. But that almost reflects the statistic of this amount of men, this amount of women, and I think I know what I'm trying to say. It reflects how many men we see coming in,
yes,
or how many male students. Let me put it that way.
Do you think this is a slightly tangent one? Do people actually ask to see a male counsellor, men?
We offered the facility for people to choose what's right for them. So, do you have any? One of the questions on our intake assessment form is, do you have any preference as to the gender of counsellor you see? Do you say male or female? Some choose male, some choose female. We ask the same questions, and people can decide where they're comfortable.
Yeah.
But of course, being comfortable doesn't always necessarily mean they're going to talk about what they want to talk about.
No.
So it's sometimes challenging students to try something different.
Fantastic. So on a personal level, what inspired you to take up this interest, and how, as it's developed over time, how's it going?
The interest in Manspace or the interest in counselling?
Both. Let's do both.
Okay, well, I'll start with the counselling. I turned 40 many, many years ago. My children were grown up, doing their own thing. I was a single parent. And I thought, well, it's time for me to do something for me. I went to an introduction to counselling. I think it was a 12-week thing. From there, I did a 2-year part-time course. Then I did another 2-year part-time course. And here I am, and I've been at the university as a counsellor for 14 years. And I just love it.
I think you just gave your age away.
Could be. And that's fine. I've got no problem with that at all.
And Manspace, how did you actually think this isn't working? Because you talked right at the beginning, it's a safe space to start with, isn't it? So how did that actually evolve to go, actually, what I'll do is I'll play Lego and see if anyone wants to come and play
I'm
with
sorry,
me.
you don't play Lego.
Sorry.
You build Lego.
Not if you're a girl. I played Lego. But yeah, okay, well, that's another story. We're talking about men here. Sorry. If you're building Lego.
It's what inspired me to do it. It was part of my PDR. I had to do something, and we had noticed as a team that we were seeing more female students than male students.
Okay.
And it was a project that I thought, well, yeah, I could run with this. I have I'm going to say addiction to Lego.
Okay.
I have lots of Lego.
Okay.
And I thought, well, how can I incorporate that into work?
So you wanted to come to work and play?
If that's what you're saying.
Okay.
Do I play at work?
I have no idea, Tony. I don't know.
So, yeah, it's, reading and looking at the statistics from this, which is a male.
So Men's Health Forum, how to make mental health services work for men.
And this gave me the idea of putting something together.
Yes.
As well as having the support of Joe Lester, the head of the counselling mental health team, and our senior counsellor, Susie Wallace, to put it together and make it work. And the encouragement, and they've given me a lot of support with this. And just looking at the statistics, are we allowed to talk about statistics?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Okay, so men are only 38% of NHS talking therapy referrals, yet 78% of deaths by suicide are male. Now, this is quite an old survey. This is 2014, 2015, and I'm sure there's different statistics, but this is what I've been working from. And it's, there's so many statistics. Over 3/4 of those who take their own lives are male. 73% of adults who go missing from home are men. 87% of rough sleepers are men. It's the statistics are there.
Yeah.
So by trying to help men to talk about what's going on, maybe those statistics can change.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. And I know there are other men's groups out there. There's Andy's Man Club. There's another one, some Man Cave.
Yeah, the football. I remember the football one. Walk and talk.
So it's important that all of these different services are given the airspace to encourage men to come and talk.
So if I want to, I'm not going to come along, but if I'm going to invite someone to come along from our audience, when and where can they go to Manspace at the university? The 4th floor in the Hyde.
In the Hyde. It's from 2 p.m. till 4 p.m.
On
a Wednesday, the first Wednesday of the month.
Okay,
most
first Wednesday
months.
of the month.
Not over Easter. We have one in December, not in January because students are not back from their break then.
So staff and students?
Yes.
Okay. Tell me about the students that come along. Do you get international students coming along?
We do get international students come along, and they're quite surprised that we're talking about mental health.
Okay.
If you ask students about their homeland and what provision there is for mental health, most of the answers I've had are, in my country, mental health doesn't exist.
Fair enough.
Because usually there is somebody, if somebody's having mental health issues, they will be sent on holiday to other relations so that they're away from the family, so nobody can see what's going on, which is quite sad, but this is what I'm being told.
Okay. So they go on holidays and get support elsewhere, or...?
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that, but...
They're obviously needing something to come along to Manspace, so that's nice. They're breaking the tradition, and you guys are there to support them?
Yes. Well, we're very lucky with holding it in the Hyde because it's such a big area. Students come up there to sit and study. If they're male, I will explain what's going on. If we have any female students wanting to use the space, I will ask them politely, tell them there's an event going on, tell them when we're finishing so that they can come back and use the space. But it's the numbers vary.
Okay.
So sometimes the most I've had is a dozen people.
Okay, so it's quite small and supportive because... And you're playing consoles as well, you said?
There's Jim Harris has been a big supporter of Manspace as well.
He's our IT.
He is. I wasn't sure what he does. I know he does the tippy-tappy techie stuff.
Tippy-tappy.
Tippy-tappy, yes. Everybody does tippy-tappy. That's all computers. I'm too old for all that. And he lends us a games console and different games so that it's there. And again, it's doing something with your hands, focus, but being able to talk about what you want to talk about. If I see anybody sitting on their own, I'll go over and say, like, have you had a tea or a coffee? Would you like some biscuits? How are you doing? Well, I thought I'd come along and then encourage them to, come over and talk, come over and sit by the Lego box or play chess or backgammon, any of the games that we've got going, just so they can be involved and know that they don't have to talk about problems.
No.
They can just be in that space. And then from there, encourage them to come and talk.
Absolutely.
Come and have counselling if that's what they feel they need. Just breaking down those barriers.
Yes. Social connections are really important, aren't they, in the face-to-face? And sounds like a load of different games to play while you can have a chat to someone.
You're focusing a lot on games to play.
Yeah, sorry.
No, don't be sorry.
Engagement. I like the social connections and the engagement because I think sometimes we can just be. You don't have to be doing anything. And you've combined them both. So that's lovely.
And sometimes doing nothing is still doing something, still recharging.
Absolutely. So have you got some key messages? I'm going to have a chat to Niall, or you two. Niall and you can have a chat if you want. But have you got some key messages you want to give to the listeners today? Have we got some mental health events coming up?
We've got Uni Mental Health Day, which is the 12th of March. That will be on the ground floor of the Learning Hub for, I'm trying to think how long it goes on. I think it's 10 o'clock till about 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Fantastic. And that's for men and women?
Absolutely.
Staff and students?
Staff, students.
Okay.
We have the ARC coming. They always bring lots of little animals to stroke and pet, and there'll be the therapy dogs. I do love the therapy dogs.
Me too.
And there'll be I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, the theme for this year is connection.
Oh, fantastic.
So the uni mental health team will all be there at some point during the day, and there'll be a meet the team type of thing. So you can ask us who's who. Manspace will have their own stall or tables where the games to play will be there.
Okay, good. I might come and play.
You will be more than welcome.
Oh, fantastic. I'm going to come and construct Lego.
Build.
Okay. Okay. Any other key messages about Manspace? I'm hearing come along and engage.
Come and see what it's like.
And it's nice and safe, and people are lovely, and you get tea and coffee and biscuits.
Yes. Stuart, our university chaplain, will be there doing the teas and coffees.
Oh, lovely.
And lots of conversation.
Great. That sounds great. Sounds a lovely thing for the university to be engaging in and you guys to be championing. So thank you very much. So I've now got Niall Redmond with me here, who is a former student and now a staff member, and he engages with Manspace. So we're just going to get his perspective. Niall, tell me what Manspace does for you and what you think of it, and I won't say play, I promise.
Okay, well, thank you, Tracy. So my initial thoughts when I heard about Manspace was like, this is great. This is something that I wish I had when I was actually studying here. I think based on the timeline that it's been operating for, like as Danny said, it's been going for its third academic year now. I think it was being introduced just as I was like concluding my studies here in 2023. So I only sort of learned about it as I became a staff member at the start of 2024. But instantly I knew it was something that like it's important. And I think actually having that space available, even if it's not like, once a week, it's once a month, most of the year, it's still somewhere where people can go and have open discussions and be in like a low pressure, judgment-free area and feel fully accepted. I think this is something that especially probably a lot of young men feel these days, where obviously we have a lot of social progress for every kind of group you can imagine, every possible minority,
we do,
gender, sexuality. And I think that's great. And I think a university is the place that can promote those sort of social changes probably more than anywhere else. But it's slower progress for men, where there's still some antiquated gender norms that society abides by still. I mean, as a student, I used to hear quite often, I tend to get comments because my course was primarily female students as well, which is a known statistic in universities now, where about, I think it's 67% of students are female and only 30, I can't do maths. The remaining amount is male.
Yes.
And it does feel a little bit skewed when you're one of 3 male students in a 20 student class. And I used to get from my female peers comments like, you're not like most other guys. I feel comfortable around you. And at the time I took that as a compliment. But retroactively, I've sort of realized actually that felt like, well, I've been othered by a part of myself that I cannot change. It's just how I was born. I understand that as a straight white man, I experience privilege that not every other person in society is going to experience, but that also shouldn't be a reason to close off my ability to express things that bother me too, or things that I struggle with. And I think having Manspace, I mean, obviously it's not just for people that fit my descriptions, for any male student or staff member, it's a comfortable space where they can actually talk about these things. And even if they don't, there's not an expectation to talk. They can just be themselves, They don't have to uphold any expectations that anyone else has of them. They don't have to abide by these norms that still exist, and they can just unwind a bit, turn their mind off, and just have a chat with someone stood shoulder to shoulder building some Lego.
Yes. And it's interesting for me that it's without the electronics. Because I have 4 boys, and I have to say that's quite a testosterone-driven environment.
Absolutely.
And I still hear those conversations. So for them and for students of similar nature, that's brilliant to actually go somewhere and not have to do anything.
Yeah. Do you mind me asking how old your boys are?
So oldest is 28, 22, 17 and 13.
Okay, so like across
a spectrum.
Quite a dynamic range in age. So I imagine probably your middle child, 17 years old, he's probably getting to a point where actually he's really building like a strong social life and wanting to get out more and not be glued to screens and stuff as much as perhaps your youngest might be. And I think Manspace is one of those places where you can do that. I mean, obviously there are games consoles there.
Yes, yeah.
But a lot of it is, obviously they're retro games consoles. They're things that probably you remember from a kid, and perhaps someone else that's attended also goes, oh yeah, I played that game when I was younger. And it's more of like a shared like bonding tool than something that's like, oh yeah, it's a distraction from the real world out there.
That's interesting. They're going back to childhood and playing the games that we used to play. And that's very much what I think that's really a good way to actually engage them, because we had more meaningful conversations often, didn't we? We weren't engendered into this is what you did, because my boys are very sports orientated. So when they're not doing sports, their downtime is often electronics, TikTok.
Yeah, and that's
phones,
such a common
games,
thing now.
yeah.
And detaching from that actually is good for our brains. It's the constant stimulation and the fact that anyone can comment on anything at any time can really affect people, even though they don't feel it right away. Subconsciously, there's always going to be something in the back that it is going to take a toll.
Yes.
And being able to detach from that and not be connected to everyone across the world at all times, and be forced to, if you are going to engage in something electronic, it be based on one screen locally with a bunch of other people in the same space, and it actually becomes like either an icebreaker, or like I said, a bonding tool, or something that you can work together on something. Yes. And if there's anything that motivates men to come together and not only develop friendships and break down, establish like boundaries and walls and stuff that prevent them from accessing these tools to help their mental health. It's teamwork, collaboration, competition, and the sort of like a shared experience of creating something together. And I think that's also what Danny's getting at with the Lego as well, is you're building, you're constructing, you're making something with someone. And even if you're not working on the same thing, there's still like a common effort, you're shoulder to shoulder. And I think face to face can often feel quite intimidating for men who aren't used to opening up. So being able to stand next to someone and not have to necessarily look directly in their direction, but know that they're listening, that's a very useful tool. Yeah.
By my side. Brilliant. Thank you very much. I think unless have you got any other key messages that you want to flag about Manspace?
Yeah, I think obviously it can feel quite daunting to actually show up to something, especially if you're the type of person that might actually need to reach out and ask for help, or even just build up some new relationships and stuff with either male role models or peers. It can feel intimidating to show up to a place, not know anyone, and have to introduce yourself. And obviously Danny said that he also approaches people that aren't necessarily, they've shown up, they've done the hard bit, but they're not sure how to break the ice. And it can feel quite disarming sometimes when someone asks, like, how are you? Like, how do you feel? Like, are you doing well? And that, I suppose, once that question's out of the way and Danny's taken care of that, the rest of it seems so much easier.
Yeah, so you're saying you need to show up and you'll be supported.
So yeah, the most difficult leap is attending.
Oh, I completely get that. This is a not Manspace story, but the first time I went to a mums and tots.
Oh, yeah.
As a mum, taking a deep breath, pushing the pushchair through that door, not knowing who was on the other side, I was like, oh, I hope they're nice. And I'm
It's
hearing
a very real fear, yeah.
that, you know, turn up to Manspace and people will be nice.
Yeah,
and you can do that.
Exactly. Well, I'm with your sons being the age they are. I'm sure, like at the time as well, that was probably a way to develop friendships. I know
Absolutely.
some of my closest friends are ones I went to mums and tots groups with, and my mum is now like our closest family friends and stuff. They are those people that
That's exactly it. Yes.
she took me to those groups and then developed these relationships. And all of a sudden, for 25 years, they've been the closest people to our family outside of, you know, the Redmonds, essentially. So, it's important. That is the hardest bit. And once you start going, it encourages you to go more.
Yeah, we love community, don't we?
Exactly.
As social beings, we love like, oh, I'm going to Manspace and they're going to talk to me, or I can not play. I can engage with Lego and enjoy myself.
Well, that's it. It's bringing some sort of like whimsical value to it to entice people, because everything can be very, very serious, and especially when you're studying.
Yes.
And actually being able to detach for 2 hours a month, it's not a huge amount of time. Most people can probably spare that.
Yes.
And I think that it does a world of good.
So maybe what we need to do rather than spare is we need to prioritise our mental health and take a bit of time out, turn up to Manspace.
You know, sometimes it takes someone opening your eyes to that to realise that it should be a priority. And actually, in my own experience, I can thank Danny for that as well. He was my counsellor when I was in my final year of university, and I had no idea what to do when I was really, really struggling. And so on a whim, I just applied to see what I could get out of the counselling service. And I just so happened to have Danny assigned as my counsellor, and it did so much for me. He made me realise a lot about myself, my own experience, what I was allowing to happen to myself, because I'd had boundaries and stuff broken down. I didn't know how to rebuild them, and sometimes that is something that can really, really benefit people to do, is just speak to someone who can actually give you like a sobering like wash of your brain, essentially. And a lot of the time it's Danny's extremely good at what he does. He's pushing you to make these realizations about yourself.
Absolutely.
Instead of, you know, doing all of that.
Sometimes we need the space, don't we? And the right facilitator to help us get there.
Exactly, yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Oh, well, I wish I was a man. I could come along, but it sounds great. And I do hope everyone, staff and students, do come Wednesdays, once a month to Manspace, and come along to the Mental Health Day as well if you're able. I'm definitely going to be there. Cool. So I'd like to express gratitude and thank you to the University of Northampton and our faculty, to Jason for the Holistic Health series in particular, to Niall and Danny and Annie for setting everything up for us and allowing us to showcase real-world research and initiatives that the university are actually doing to make the staff and the students feel better about themselves. A heartfelt thank to everyone, and commitment to you guys for supporting men and our staff, creating Manspace, and the valuable insights that you've given us right now. And I hope you join us again on our next podcast. Thank you very much.